moving forward. So one of the
Hey, Fred.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I was scared to unmute myself because my dog keeps barking. Hi, Dwayne.
Hello.
Oh wow, you've really gone to the moon. Outer space.
I'm in my full Star Wars, Star Trek mode right now. So
Hey, it feels like we're on another planet sometimes these days.
we can't hear you, Fred.
I say my aims are more terrestrial.
I'm about hope. I'm a black man, Fred. I'm about hopes and dreams. Although that's a hope and a dream right now.
Here he goes. Oh boy. Good evening, Mr. Slavin.
Good evening to you all. How you doing there? Good to see everybody. Shh, gotta be quiet. Mr. Joseph, I like your background.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're not in space, are you?
I wish I was.
And you want to miss all the fun here?
This is my version of social distancing virtually,
Very good. I like the
off planet.
Hey, Miss Boyd and Ballard, what's going on? Are they getting the error message when they try to access it?
Yes, I think so. I've just been told that they've been trying to access it via Facebook and it's
Oh,
saying
we're not streaming on Facebook.
you're not streaming on Facebook. Okay.
No,
Okay. Okay.
thanks.
Okay, hello, can everyone hear me? If you can hear me, just thumbs up. Okay, perfect. Okay, we're going to be starting shortly. Just bear with us 1 second and we're going to call the meeting to order.
Hi, could the phone number ending in 7189, could you please mute yourself? Thank you.
Okay, hello, can everyone hear me? Good, okay,
Yes.
thank you. Perfect. I would like to thank everyone for joining us this evening for our November meeting of the General Board for Community Board 9. My name is Fred Baptiste. I currently serve as the chair of the board. I want to wish everyone a happy holidays. Happy to see everyone who was able to join us this evening. I'm anticipating this will be a relatively short meeting. We have a smaller agenda, but we definitely wanted to make sure that we finish our business as a board. Just a couple of housekeeping items. Well, actually, first of all, so we're convening the meeting. The time is now 7:10 p.m., calling the meeting to order. With regards to our agenda, we have 2 applications which we are expecting to hear this evening. We may actually have only 1 representative, so we'll probably be looking to table a vote on the second one. I would ask, just in terms of etiquette for the teleconference, if you are not speaking, please keep your microphones on mute. So that way we don't have any background noises that, doesn't help, that prevents everyone from hearing what speakers are saying or any information that's being presented. I would also ask, if you are interested in speaking during the public commentary section, please let our district staff know. You can chat them directly, or you can put it into the chat and they will take your name. The public commentary section is limited to 30 minutes on a first come, first served basis. We will try and take as many as we can, but we are cut off after 30 minutes maximum for our bylaws. At this time, well, actually, before we go to item number 2, well, actually, for item number 1 would be the, well, I'm sorry, we don't even have it. The rules of order for the meeting. We're going to waive the reading of those, but very simply put, it's a matter of when speakers are speaking, we're asking for everyone to please respect and listen to the commentary, and not to interrupt. We're asking for a respectful tone of all members of the community, respectful of all viewpoints. We're trying to give all members of the community the right to speak, and they should be heard as well. Okay, and with that being said, we are, and actually one last point. If you are an elected official, if I could also ask that you please let the district staff know as well, so that way we can make sure during the acknowledgements that we're able to hear you as well. Again, we ask that, if we can keep the comments brief in terms of, making sure that we're respectful of time to make sure that we're able to get through our agenda for this evening. So first, before we go into the applications for the New York State Liquor Authority, we have with us this evening Ms. Monique Chandler Waterman. I hope I didn't mess up your name. She's here from the Health and Hospitals Test and Trace Corps. I saw you put some very good information into the chat. Do you have any information you'd like to share with the board and the community very briefly?
All right, good night, everyone. Thank you to the board. Thank you to the chair. Thank you to everybody for allowing me this platform to speak. My name is Monique Chandler Waterman. I'm the new Brooklyn Outreach Director for Health and Hospitals, Test and Trace. Thank you so much. We had a partnership with Community Board 9 today in front of the office where my canvassers, my team was out there along with the staff of Community Board 9, where we gave out masks and literature for Test Giving Tuesday, making sure people know safety tips for the holiday. So thank you so much for that partnership. And also yesterday, we was happy to assist at the 71st Precinct as you gave out turkeys. So as we know, COVID-19 is on the rise, and in your particular zip code in Community Board 9 in Crown Heights is on the watch list. So we just want to make sure that we prevent further spread of COVID-19. So we do partnerships such as partner with existing events that you have going on, or we can do a day of action. We put a table, a tent up, making sure we're giving out masks. We give out literature that talks about the 4 cores, which is making sure you put on your mask the right way, above your nose, below your mouth, making sure that you wash your hands, stay 6 feet apart, stay home if you're sick. This is not the time for perfect attendance. You feel any way off, you make sure you stay home, and make sure you get tested. We recommend that you get tested at least once a month. If you could do it more, fine. You don't have to have symptoms to get tested. You don't have to have symptoms to have COVID-19. We just want to make sure people understanding that you do not pay for COVID-19 tests. Is at no cost to you. If you have insurance, they'll take your insurance, but if you don't have insurance, you will still be able to get a test with no cost to you. If you have any issues with that, I put my information in the chat. You could definitely call me, but go to nyc.gov/COVID test. You type in your address, it will tell you the nearest testing site. It will tell you different things like if it's rapid testing, what's the ages that could get tested, because some people don't do under 18 years old. It would also tell you if something's called like a self-testing or microsite. That is one of the ways we partners as well with community stakeholders like yourself. We want to make sure that people like you, who's credible messengers to the community, is out there spreading this message. So we have a program where the community board or organization can do something called self-testing. We could have a health and hospital staff member come to the site, and they would tell the person, the community member, how to self-swab for 10 seconds each nostril. And then you take your information in, and within 48 hours, you get an email saying your test results. We also have a program where staff like the community board can be trained to make sure that people do the self-swab and mail it back in, and also get the email address. We want to make sure it is convenient to get tested. Some people may feel more comfortable with self-swabbing rather than someone else doing it. So we are trying every way possible to make sure the testing is accessible. If it's not in walking distance, you could fill out a form where you could ask for a mobile site in your neighborhood. We're doing something called ice cream truck model, where it's like an ambulance, being that it's getting cold, and you come in that vehicle and you get tested and you go. Because our mobile sites where we have the tent and the table set up, they're going to be closing down because it's getting too cold with the elements. So we are creating a lot of different ways where people get tested. So we would love to continue partnership. If anybody know any other organizations or any community leaders that would like to partner with us, please email me at WAT as in Tom, ER, M as in Mary, A, M as in Mary, at nychhc.org. That is not a mistake. That's how they spell my name. Don't ask me why. But and my phone number is 646-847-5327. So we're willing to partner. If you just want masks and literature, we have literature available in various languages to make sure we're accommodating and culturally sensitive to the community. So please take advantage of this and make sure you reach out to me. If you have any questions, I don't know if we could take questions, but you could put in the chat and I can answer them because I don't want to take away from the scheduled time. But thank y'all so much. I see a lot of my friends on. Thank you so much for giving me this time.
Thank you very much, Ms. Chandler Waterman. We can take two questions. We can take 2 questions for this evening. Are there any questions for Ms. Chandler Waterman?
Ms. Hudson, I could check on 960 Franklin Avenue. I saw that in the chat. I could check on that. We could talk offline. I could call you. We could talk offline about 960 Franklin Avenue.
I have a question. I signed up for an app called COVID Alert New York. It's supposed to send, like ping my phone if I spend 15 minutes in the presence of somebody who's tested positive. Has anyone else downloaded this app? I seem,
I think that's in New York
No.
State, if I'm not mistaken. Was that the New York State? Because we're in
yeah, New York State, yeah.
the New York State one, so I wouldn't know about that app, but I did hear about it.
Oh, okay. So do you know, okay. Yes, I had an email from the governor.
We have tracers, right? So somebody is positive, we trace, we talk, we make sure we contact, we investigate, make sure we
Right.
contact everybody they've been in contact with. And then we have something called Take Care, where we make sure that they're taken care of, if I forgot to mention this. So if you cannot isolate or quarantine within your house, maybe it's not accommodating to that or the amount of people, we do have programs for you where we could put you in a hotel, we could have deliveries, we could do deliver medication. And I also heard that we also have a program where we could walk dogs as well to make sure that you're accommodated so you will not have to be out and about.
Wow. Well,
Yes.
thank you so much. You seem to be trying to think of everything.
We want to make sure that you're taken care of, and there's no stigma to getting tested and being positive. You just want to make sure everybody's safe and it's not spread. So we just need to make sure people understand that anybody could get COVID-19. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you're from. There's no race behind this. But we are disproportionately affected in the Black and Brown communities, when you and with the underlying health issues. So we definitely want to make sure people understand that. And for the holidays, please, if the person doesn't live in your house, please don't drive to anybody's house, right? Do not invite people that's not normally with you to your house, because what happens is when you're in your house, you take off your mask, right? And you don't know if the person had COVID-19. You don't know, even if you get tested right before, the positive only comes in sometimes days later. You don't know the incubation period. You don't know any of that. So you can't take the gamble of, I'm gonna take a test right before I go to someone's house, and then therefore I won't spread. You could still be contagious, and your test results could be negative at that time. So I just want to make sure people are aware. Do virtual events if you can. Decorate your house outside. Let people drive by. Do a drive-by food, whatever you can do. But please, please, let's not gather, because we are very concerned with the numbers going up for the holidays. Thank you. I think that's probably all my time right now.
So thank you very much. We can take one more question if there is one left. Okay, seeing none. Thank you so much for your time and for the information you presented this evening. And I guess if anyone has any additional questions, Ms. Chandler Waterman has already put her information in the chat, or you can reach out to the district office and we can also connect you as well. Thank you so very much for joining us this evening and for presenting that information. Okay, we are now going to go on, we're going to continue our agenda. We are going to go on to the applications for the New York State Liquor Authority. Do we have the chair for public safety on?
I don't believe that he's entered the meeting as of yet, but the applicant is here. The representative, Mr. Julio Hugo, for Mama Luisa Sandwich Shop. They're located on New York Avenue. I'm going to drop the docs into the chat just so when everyone can browse over it. The membership has been provided this information, but just so that everyone is on the same page if we're referencing.
Thank you very much. Mr. Hugo, you're with us this evening?
Yes, good evening, everyone.
Okay, welcome to Community Board 9. So you've already been before our Public Safety Committee. If you just care to share a few words with regards to your application and your establishment.
Yes, good evening, everyone again. Thank you for this time. I'm Julio Hugo, owner and third generation of the Hero Shop located in 609 New York Avenue. I'm requesting my renewal wine and cider license for the New York Liquor Authority. The store has been there for 60-something years, so we are the third generation of owners. I mean, service sandwiches, Italian food, deli, corner store. So if anybody has any questions or anything, I can open to answer.
I'm sorry. Thank you very much, Mr. Hugo. So we will entertain questions. Are there any, let's go this order first. Are there any questions from board members? Are there any board members who have questions for Mr. Hugo regarding the application? Okay, Mia, do you see any questions?
No, I actually don't see any questions. I think it's pretty straightforward. The menu, all of the information is attached in the PDF. Yeah. So it's
Okay,
pretty
we will,
straightforward.
okay, we can take a couple of questions from residents as well. Are there any questions for Mr. Hugo regarding the establishment? Okay. I do not see raised hands. Is there anyone in the chat? Mia, do you see anybody in the chat?
No additional comments in the chat.
Okay. All right, with that being said, thank you very much. That is the only applicant we have. Well, actually, if we can we call, is there a representative from Esther Hadassah's Corp. doing business as IX Restaurant?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, sir. If you would, if you could just give the board, tell the board a little bit about your business, your establishment, your history in the community, and your application.
Yes. Hi. My name is Marek Shved. I'm the representative for Anna Prince for Esther Hadassah. She has been there in the current location for about 4 years. She also owns the business next door, which is the La Patrona, the Mexican taco spot. For about 6 years, she had been there. The current place, it's called Ish, I think it's pronounced, IX. It serves innovative, like eclectic, but very affordable Guatemalan, South American cuisine. It's open pretty early for breakfast at 6 o'clock in the morning. They just want to supplement their income right now. They have a beer and wine license, and we're applying for a change of class to a full liquor license. There's never been any issues whatsoever at any of our locations. Just basically here to apply for a change of class of the liquor license to a full liquor license. Hello?
I keep muting myself, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Are there any questions from members of the board for the applicant right now? Okay, hearing none, we'll open it up. Are there any questions from members of the community for the applicant? I do see one in the chat. Sir, if you could, where's this? Just tell them where your establishment is located again.
It's on Lincoln, it's 51 Lincoln Road.
51 Lincoln Road. What are your cross streets?
Just 1 second, right now.
It sounds like it'd be between Ocean Avenue and Flatbush.
Between Flatbush and Ocean Avenue. It's closer to Flatbush.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Are there any other questions? Okay, seeing none, we're going to close on that. I want to thank both of the applicants for your presentations. We are going to be voting on your applications during the business session of the board. So if you care, you can stay with us in case there are any additional questions that come up during the business session. All right, we are now going to go into our public comment period. The public comment period is exactly 30 minutes duration. Mia, do we currently have a speakers list?
Yes, I do. I have the Julia Bryan as the first registrant. They're in order of receipt, so the people who have signed up via email will be going first. I have Ms. Bryant as the first speaker.
I am here. Okay, wait a minute.
You got a little bit of an echo, Ms. Bryant.
Okay, is this better?
Still a little bit of an echo.
Is that better now?
I
Okay.
think we have you. I think.
Okay, what my statement is that I just wanted to make a point that the Brooklyn Botanic Garden should be helping with this 960 Franklin Avenue project. Since they're against it, I was suggesting that the Botanic Garden hire an arborist and an architect. Arborist because of trees, of course, and an architect regarding the glare. I also want to make another statement is that I looked at the scoping hearing list of people who came out against the Botanic, against the 960 Franklin Avenue project. It was the Brooklyn Botanic Garden, Pratt School of Architecture, a former plant quarantine inspector for USDA, someone from the New York City Audubon Society, Tenants Association from 1035 Washington Avenue, Brooklyn, Crown Heights Tenants Union, Park Slope Civic Council, Save Central Park, New York, Maple Street Community Garden, and the president of the Prospect Gardens Neighborhood Association. Also, Sullivan Ludland Stoddard Neighborhood Association, Coney Island Beautification Project, and lastly, the Brooklyn Academy of Science and Environment. I just want to make sure that you understand that these people have come out against this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bryant. I have Janine Nichols next.
Hang on, I was gonna use a headphone. Can you hear me?
Yes, Ms. Nichols, go ahead.
Okay, so now I'm on the support team for the trio of residents who are fighting the rezoning along the Botanic Garden in court. That's Boyd, LaShawn Ellis, and Michael Hollingsworth, who's also now a leading candidate for Lori Cumbo's council seat. Recently, we brought a new suit to prevent the certification of 960 Franklin Avenue on, I believe it was November 16th. Our suit charges that DC plotting, the Department of City Plotting, as we like to call them, in sending a simple notice of the date of certification, unaccompanied by any details of the project, violated the ballot question 5 that was overwhelmingly approved by voters. You remember the City Charter Revision Commission of 2019, remember that? It turns out it was a hustle. The language in the ballot question called for the affected borough president and community board to be given a detailed summary of the project 30 days before certification in order to engender meaningful community input. But DCP only sent out a notice, no details. Ballot question 5 was offered to voters in response to outcry across the city from neighborhoods that are targeted by developers, raging that the ULURP process denies any meaningful input from the people who are most affected, namely residents. DCP claims that when ballot question 5 was written into law, it conveniently left out the part about providing any details. That's what they're going to be arguing in court. So if you needed any further evidence that the charter revision was a hustle, you have it now. So with this lawsuit, we have brought the community some time. So let us use it wisely. We will be hosting an online town hall with the activist urban planning expert, Professor Emeritus Tom Angotti from Hunter and CUNY. And we invite you and everyone that you know, and everyone who cares about Botanic Gardens and the future of this part of Crown Heights to attend. It'll be Thursday, December 3rd at 7 p.m. We will publish the Zoom link on the MTOP Facebook page, as well as on the BBG and their Fight for Sunlight pages. We will send out an e-blast. If you are not on our mailing list, please call 718-703-3086 to be added to the mailing list so you get this information. This is critical. So we have a few extra weeks. Let's make good use of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nichols. Ms. Boyd?
Thank you, Ms. Nichols. Ms. Boyd, can you hear me? Okay, so now I
Yes. Good
Boyd.
afternoon, community. Everybody hear me? Can I get a nod?
Wait,
Affirmation, thank you.
oh,
Boyd, Ms. Barnes, Boyd. Ms. Boyd is
Oh,
next.
sorry, guys.
No problem.
myself. Hi, my name is Alicia Boyd, and I just wanted to say that one of the things that we've been trying to do is been trying to find out information about this project. And one thing that we were able to find, and I'm going to put this in the chat because really, I really dislike when people tell me that I don't speak the truth. So I'm going to put information into the chat where there's links that you can see the documents. But one of the things when we went to court, the developers made the claim that they had all the support from the community. So, and first I'm going to give you that link. So if you just look in the chat box, you're going to see that link. And that link has is the developers' lawyers claiming that they had all the support. But guess who they got the support from? They said that they got the support from Beverly Newsom, our own community board person, where she agreed to the project. And again, I'm going to show you the letter that we were able to get from DCP that shows that Beverly Newsom from the Ebbets Field agreed to this project. Now, did she get permission from Ebbets Field? Probably not, but this is how things roll. Also in that letter, the lawyer's letter, it states that Tivoli Towers also supported this development. And yet I know I've been speaking with the Tivoli Tower people and the new president, and she said she did not support this. I know she's in the chat. I hope she gets an opportunity to speak so she can say very clearly that they are not supporting this development. And yet the developers are producing documents where the support's supposed to be coming from Tivoli Towers. The other community that's supposed to be supporting this project is Clarence Norman. You know, if everybody doesn't know Clarence Norman, he's the former assembly person who was convicted 3 times of embezzlement, stealing, fraud, you name it. And his pal, Carmen Martinez, who's also on the community board, who's been trying to be the district manager for the last 5 years of CB9. So his church is supposed to be supporting that. We didn't see the documents, but definitely those are the people who are supporting this thing. We're very dismayed at our board members who have been obviously negotiating behind closed doors and not discussing these negotiations or these conversations with the community or the community board. And yet here we have the documentation of that. The other thing that I wanted people to see was that the Department of City Planning has now come out and taken a position that no adverse effects is going to happen to the garden as a result of this development project. Again, there's another doc where you can see that that was their determination. And this is very concerning, folks, because what that means is that they're not going to do anything to mitigate negative impacts if they're saying that no negative impacts will happen. So they're basically saying nothing is going to happen. However, we also have another document from the Parks Department. And again, I'm going to put that into the chat if anybody wants to look at that. And that
Boyd, I'm sorry, but I need you to conclude your comments.
I'm almost finished.
Please conclude.
And that memo clearly states that something will happen to the garden. There is adverse effects. So that means you have 2 agencies, one saying yes, the other one saying no. And that's why it's important for BBG to enter into this conversation and provide their own documents and their own evidence as far as studies so they can tip the scales. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Boyd. Paris Nalevansky, sorry.
Hi there. Actually, my name is Martina Victoria. And I'm a member of the community as well as a member of BBG and a volunteer there. And I just want to add to some of these comments about Brooklyn Botanic Garden, which is that in addition to our need to have the garden, whether it's the president, whoever the powers that be, communicate with the press and speak, engage in the community. And more importantly, in addition to getting the arborists analyses and so on, we really need the scientists and the experts, the specialists of each pavilion in that conservatory to be able to speak out publicly and let science, speak, truth to power, because once they are allowed to speak out and tell the truth about what's going to happen and the damage that will be done, I think it'll be a very clear, a clear story here. Just as the pandemic is going, we're going to be saved by science. We're going to be saved by science here too. But we need people to be able to speak out publicly. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I have Catherine Glass.
Thank you so much. Can you let me know if you can hear me?
You're good.
And perhaps even see me. Thank you. My name is Catherine Glass. I'm from Brooklyn Botanic Garden, and I'm pleased to be joining you tonight. I'm also deeply encouraged by the amount of community engagement on this. I wanted to further those sentiments by saying that Brooklyn Botanic Garden is putting its full weight behind the fight for sunlight, and that our new president, Adrian Benepe, who just joined us last month, will be at the next community board meeting representing Brooklyn Botanic Garden. Furthermore, like MTOP, we'll be holding a virtual kind of training in the second week in December to help prepare supporters of the fight for sunlight to write to their elected officials and otherwise get our message out. I think it's also important to note that the scientific rudiments of the argument made by the garden are available to the public. They're in the EIS from March of 2019. They were provided by our VP of Horticulture, Rowan Blake, and have been available to the public this whole time and will continue to be. And Mr. Blake has made himself available on numerous occasions to the public at presentations that the garden has hosted, most lately last February 2020 before the pandemic. In our upcoming virtual sessions, Rowan, Adrian, and others will be available and happy to share the scientific basis of the garden's rejection of this rezoning proposal. And again, terribly encouraged to see the community outcry. It will take all of us in our own ways to contribute to this fight. I will just add in that that BBG worked with the Municipal Art Society in developing a rendering that is also available on our exhibit website and other resources on the Fight for Sunlight page that shows what the density, height, and massing of the buildings would appear to look like from the 960 Franklin. And again, that material is open and available to the public. So we're in it. We look forward to it. And we look forward to seeing all of you at our next meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I have Nancy Bernard next.
Hello, neighbors. How are you? My name is Nancy. I am a resident on Hawthorne Street, still in Prospect Lovers Garden. I just wanted to come and introduce myself. This is my first time attending a community board meeting, and I'm excited to be on the platform today and share with you that we have recently, as neighbors on the block, come together in light of the climate of everything happening socially. And one of the things we thought we would try to incorporate on this particular block is positivity. So we've been able to work on cleaning up the block as far as trash pickups, and we did a can project where we designated extra cans on the block to ensure that places where people were congregating the most and garbage is left behind were now being placed in. And so that project has launched and it's been amazing. We also have ideas about beautification with planting, but of course, with the issues of the pandemic, all of these things are halted for future, projections when we can do these things. So the reason why I thought I'd share this with you guys is because we still have a lot of funding that we do ask for in regards to like these bins that need to have with bags put in. And we also have a platform that we are opening to the public to come and assist us with ideas on how we can continue to uplift the block. And I'm sure if you guys are familiar with the dynamics of Hawthorne, you will know that this is a block that has historically been tainted with all sorts of social issues. Recently, we've had a mass shooting. And so we, as the people who've been living here and decided that, so introducing to you the Hawthorne Neighborhood Association, Block 3. It's a Facebook page that you guys can join, and we are open to all sorts of information that could assist us with ideas that we can penetrate onto the block as far as innovating positivity. So I wanted to share that with you. And you guys must be familiar with Miss William, who is an active member of your board, I believe. She's been doing things for years. And so we thought we'd jump on board and do some stuff as well, as people who have also been living here for years and have not been as active. So some of us on a different aspect are also coming together and, you know, doing these sorts of things for the community. So the Facebook page is Hawthorne Block 3 Neighborhood Association, Hawthorne Block 3 Neighborhood Association, and please join. And again, we'll probably put information about when we need funding for, like, you know, garbage bags or paints or other projects that we might be doing. And you're all welcome to attend and all welcome to assist us with ideas or whatever way possible. So thank you, and continue the great work.
Thank you, Nancy. Don't forget to drop your info in the chat should anybody else be interested in assisting. We have Felice Roberts next. Well, Robertson, excuse me.
Mr. Felice, are you on the line?
I requested her to unmute. She hasn't unmuted yet.
Yeah, please.
Yes, we can hear you. Ms. Robertson, there's a lot of background noise and feedback into the line. Ms. Robertson, we can't hear you, and there's a lot of feedback from your phone. You need to move to a quieter area. Do you want us to come back to you? That was it for the list. Is there anyone else? Did I miss anyone?
I'm on the list. Hello, I'm on the list as well.
Oh, Ms. Barnes, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Sorry for that. After Ms. Robertson, I'm sorry. Apologize.
Good afternoon, community. Can everyone hear me? Can I get a nod? Okay. My comments are taken from the memo from the New York City Parks Department to the Department of City Planning that Alicia referred to. I will quote from the most significant findings of the New York City Parks Department as time doesn't permit otherwise. So again, the memo is from the City Parks Department, Director of Environmental Review, David Cuff. It is to the Department of City Planning, Alexander McLean, Stephanie Shello. It's dated December 20, 2019. Review of natural resources, shadows, and open space chapters of 960 Franklin Avenue rezoning EIF. The New York City Parks Department's experts don't agree with the arborist report or with the information presented in the natural resources chapter of the developer. And I quote from the New York City Parks Department. In fact, assertions found in both the natural resources chapter and the arborist report would indicate that the proposed project 960 would potentially lead to significant adverse impact to natural resources, specifically to natural resources found in Brooklyn Botanical Gardens due to the projected generated shadows. And I'm still quoting, New York City Parks is concerned that the assessment presented in the natural resources chapter used too narrow a focus to assess the potential for natural resource impact to the Brooklyn Botanical Garden and does not present a complete picture of the sunlight needs of the natural resources present in the Brooklyn Botanical Garden. The Parks Department also said that conveniently they left out that experts stating that 8 to 10 hours of sunlight is necessary for the maximum light during winter. It is important because at that time, shading may cause serious issues. And I quote from the Parks Department, it is important to bear in mind that the secret technical manual presents guidelines for environmental review and specific characteristics of the project should be taken into consideration when assessing the potential for significant adverse environmental impacts. It is important that the extreme broad range of plants be displayed to best effect for the thousands of yearly visitors. Despite this expert testimony, the Department of City Planning, our leaders, our alleged leaders and elected choose to commit premeditated murder. This is me speaking, not the Parks Department. Okay, despite that expert opinion, Department of City Planning and our leaders and electors choose to commit premeditated murder for their own political and or personal financial gains under the guise of affordability. Community, affordability in our Black neighborhood, low income, working class neighborhood has never been realized. It has never come to fruition. Worse, there is no oversight put in place. Once the developers have developed, in this case, the monster 240-story building, there is no oversight to make sure, to ensure that this BS, and I'll say BS affordability is realized by the community. Never happened. Same old tired playbook and same old BS lies. It's enough already. Community, no affordability. Thank you very much for listening, and I appreciate my time. And to the BBG representative, we foiled for the EIS and never got it. Thank you. It'd be nice if you would make it available. Thank you, everyone.
I think that can, I'm not sure if Ms. Felice was able to reconnect.
Yes, I am.
Okay, she's here now.
You hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So, yes, Hector and I. Hector is president of the Black Association called WABA, Washington Avenue, Brooklyn Botanic Association. And we truly, solidly oppose this building on 960 Washington Avenue. It's an obstruction. It's a detriment. It's a hindrance. We do not have, we're not sound for this type of structure. We don't have schooling. We don't have hospitals. We don't have food. We don't have the resources. We're not structured for this type of building. It should not have ever been thought of. When the garden put the restrictions for the 7th or 9th storage high, they should have left it alone. If they build on those bases, that's safe, that's good. Beyond that, we do not want it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Roberts.
That concludes the list.
Can I make a statement real quick, please?
One second. Quick time check. Mia, how much time do we have left in public commentary?
Give me one more. We started 7:30. We have, I want to say 7 minutes.
Okay, sir, you can make your comments. You have 3 minutes.
How you doing? My name is Perry Blackmore. I'm the newly elected president of the Tivoli Towers Tenants Association, better known as COT, Concerned Citizens of Tivoli Towers. Now, I've been in Tivoli Towers since 1975 when the building was first developed. At no point in time did our former president bring it to our attention that they were building 960 Franklin Avenue. At no point at all. As far as I know, and as far as facts show, he also received payouts from the developers of those developments. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of it, but it's not right. Nobody in Tivoli wants that. Nobody. I'm telling you. It's a detriment to the neighborhood. Like Felice just said, we don't have the schooling, the hospitals. We don't have the resources for that. So, I mean, I'm definitely going to follow up on everything with the tenants in the building. I'll have whatever information you guys need to stop it or to help prevent it from coming up. I'll definitely do my part on that. That's it. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, that concludes our public commentary period. We are now going to go into acknowledgements. Elise, Mia, I'm sorry about that. Mia, if you could please, and I apologize in advance, we're going a little bit out of order than our normal order, but can you advise who do we have currently with us in the meeting from the elected offices?
Sure. Mr. Slavin is available from Yvette Clark's office. Mr. Slavin, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for having me. I'll be very short. I just want to give congratulations to Miss Monica Chandler. I saw your event at the 71st Precinct, and we've chatted back and forth, and I was a bit a pain in the neck to you, and you were very accommodating. I want to thank you for that. So, again, our office is federally working with the federal issues. We're busy with passports, visas. A lot of people are stuck because of the pandemic, but we are open by appointment only. So please, anybody has any federal issues, our number is 718-287-1142. We're located at 222 Lenox Road between Rogers and Nostrand. I just want to give just two mentions again. The HR 8, which is the gun background check, universal background check with the Congresswoman that's taken great interest and is pushing that. We've had too much gun violence. We had last couple of days ago, a killing, a shooting. It's got to stop. And she's pushing that legislation. Also, the Congress is now going to readdress the updated of the hearings, the HEROES Act, which is also bringing money into the community and to help local businesses and local people. And with that, I just want to conclude. Wish you all a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. And hopefully things are going to start looking a bit better for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Dwayne from New York State Assemblywoman Diana C. Richardson.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you to the chair and the board for allowing me to speak on the platform and present on behalf of the Assembly member. The Assembly member sends her greetings to the community. We just like to bring you guys up to date on a few things. Over the last several months and our office. Sorry? Sorry about that. Over the last several months, many of you may or may not know that our office has been providing food assistance throughout the community through different community partnerships. Because of various funding deficiencies, we've had to scale back on some of that support. And we just like to let the community know that we are still providing support for some of those food resources at 3 locations. You can check those out on the Assembly members website at nyassembly.gov and just search for her name, Diana C. Richardson, to bring you to her page where you can get information on all of those 3 community events. In addition to that, in the last couple of weeks, we've been able to do some turkey drives and turkey giveaways. We've given out, I believe, as of today, along with community board, thank you very much, board, for hosting some of that giveaway today. We were able to get somewhere about 1,000 turkeys for Thanksgiving. You know, in the grand scheme of things, folks are struggling, and that may seem like a lot, but it really isn't enough. We certainly wish we could do more. But, you know, as the case is right now, we are trying to do the best we can to help wherever we can and help fill those gaps as the member and her colleagues are focusing on 2021 to hopefully, you know, push legislation that will bring a better infrastructure for that sort of thing. Also, I just wanted to update you for the holiday season, our office, or at least for Thanksgiving, our office will be closed starting tomorrow through Monday. We will return for virtual constituent services starting next week, Tuesday at 10 a.m. Our normal office hours are Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We can be reached via email at district43@nyassembly.gov. I've put that information in the chat. You'll have to scroll up. It's a little bit earlier in the chat. Our telephone number is 718-771-3105. If you're in need of assistance, you have an issue, please give us a call, reach out to us. We'll do our best to help you get the resolution or get to the next best step wherever we can. We can't solve every problem, but we do our best to put our community members and our constituents in a position where they can get things resolved or close to resolved as possible. That's it from our end. Again, wishing everyone a happy and healthy and safe Thanksgiving. And like my colleague from the Congresswoman office said, we hope that moving forward, you know, we'll have a much better conditions to work in and live in 2021.
Thank you very much, Dwayne. Please
Thank
give
you. I
the
believe,
assembly member our best regards.
I believe Ricardo Newbold may be here from the BP's office.
Good evening, CB9. The borough president sends his regards and wishes everyone a safe and healthy holiday. Because of the ongoing pandemic, unfortunately, all in-person events have been canceled. However, we are still striving to help the community in any way we can. So we do invite you on December 15th from 2 to 4. All nonprofit organizations can learn how to apply for fiscal funding for the upcoming fiscal year. You can apply, you can register for the Zoom link at brooklyn-usa.org/nonprofit capital. I will be also putting the flyer in the chat. And also on December 16th at 1 p.m., there will be a condo and co-op shareholder presentation where home, condo, and co-op owners can learn how to lower their property taxes and renters can learn how to freeze their rent. You can apply for that at brooklyn-usa.org/1216 DOF. Again, I will be posting the flyer in the chat. And we would just like to wish everybody a safe and healthy holiday.
That's all the reps that I've identified. If I've missed anyone, please identify yourself.
Hi, Mia.
Karen?
Hello? Yes, how's everyone?
Hi, Ms.
I bring you greetings from the district attorney's office. I just want to know everybody that we are working remotely from home. And if you need any, if you have any issues or concerns, you can give me a call. My phone number is 718-250-4877. And so far today, the district attorney has done like 40 food distributions. So we are here and we're out in the community. So please, if you need any, if you're having any problems, please give me a call and I'm here. And I wish everybody happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Anyone else?
Hello, good evening.
I'm writing it in back of the thing.
Hello.
Hi, sir. We're
Could I say something to you?
Sorry, you,
Yes,
sorry, are you
I'm
with
the
an office?
Sergeant of Arms at Tivoli Towers.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. We're actually past that in our agenda right now, so we're actually getting ready to conclude.
But I was trying to get in for a while.
Yeah, I apologize, sir. We have to move on with our agenda at this point.
21L.
Okay, are there any other representatives or elected officials on the line? Okay, seeing none, that concludes the public session of our agenda. We are now going to go into the business session. If I could ask, is the secretary currently on the line?
I believe she was running late into the meeting. I'm not sure if she's arrived. Give me a second. Alejandra, no, she's not arrived yet.
Okay, if I could ask, Mia, would you be able to call the roll?
Most definitely. Just give me one moment. Thank you.
Thank you. Is the first vice chair currently on the line?
Yes, I am.
If I could, until the secretary arrives, could I ask you to please serve, take the minutes for the meeting?
I'm here.
Okay, Alejandra, you here?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Right on time. Ta-da!
That's timing right there. Okay.
Okay, Alejandra, actually ready for roll call.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Just give me 1 second. I'll pull up the roll call sheet. Okay. And give me 1 second, just opening it up. Okay, Nicholas Almanor.
Present, here.
Stuart Balberg. Stuart Balberg. If somebody comes in after, please let me know in the chat. Fred Baptiste.
Present.
Virginia Bechtold. Virginia Bechtold. Rabbi Yaakov Berman.
Here.
Warren Burke. Warren Burke. Augustine Blackwell.
Here. Stuart Balberg is present.
Thank you, Stuart. Aaron Brown. Aaron Brown. Alejandra here. Suki Chong.
She's going to be absent.
Okay. Michelle DeRosier Caldwell.
Here.
Verlene Dozier. Verlene Dozier. Okay. Oh, Warren Burke is here. Miss Rosemary Evering.
Here.
Tessa Hackett Vieira,
Here.
Bishop Sylvetta Hamilton Gonzalez,
Here. Here. Gonzalez is here.
yes, I marked you this year. Shloma Zalman
Okay.
Hecht, Shloma Zalman Hecht. Wayne King, Wayne King, Primo Lasana, Primo Lasana, Mena Lagute,
Mina present.
Mina, apologies. Francisca Leopold, Francisca Leopold, Nolan Levinson,
Here.
Melanie Lewis, Melanie Lewis, Michael Liebert,
Here.
thank you, Matthias Limburger,
Here.
Menachem Margolin, Menachem Margolin, Robert Mitchell, Robert Mitchell, Carmen Martinez,
Here.
Vivia Morgan, Vivia Morgan, Pat Moses,
Here.
Beverly Newsom,
Here.
Yankee Pearson, Yankee Pearson, Riel Peerbooms,
Here.
Amy Pinkerton,
Here.
Unella Rome Perry,
Here.
Dexter Roberts, Dexter Roberts, Mary Rollerson Blackett, Mary Rollerson Blackett, Desma Ross, Desma Ross, Melissa Severe, Melissa Severe, Rashida Sadiq, Rashida Sadiq, Shanina Sperlin, Chanina Sperlin, Debbie Timothy,
Present.
Linda Watson Lord, Linda Watson Lord, Evelyn Williams, Evelyn Williams,
Excused.
Lori Ann Wolseley. Lori Ann Wolseley. Chair, we have 22 present, enough for a quorum. And we have
Madam Secretary, can you call the roll again for those who you didn't receive a response for?
yes. Beginning at the beginning for anyone who did not respond, Virginia Bechtold. Virginia Bechtold. Aaron Brown. Aaron Brown. Verlene Dozier.
He's at work at the Department of Elections, the Board of Elections,
Okay, I'll put
till
excused.
midnight.
Okay, I'll put excused. Shlomo Zalman Hecht. Shlomo Zalman Hecht. Wayne King. Wayne King. Primo Lasana. Primo Lasana. Francisca Leopold. Francisca Leopold. Melanie Lewis. Melanie Lewis. Menachem Margolin. Menachem Margolin. Robert Mitchell. Robert Mitchell. Vivia Morgan. Vivia Morgan. Yankee Pearson. Yankee Pearson. Dexter Roberts. Oh, Virginia is here. Thank you, Virginia. Dexter Roberts. Mary Rollerson Blackett. Mary Rollerson Blackett. Desma Ross. Melissa Sevier. Melissa Sevier. Rashida Siddiqui. Rashida Siddiqui. Shanita Sperlin. Shanita Sperlin. Finally, or Linda Watson Lord. Linda Watson Lord. Lori Ann Wolseley. Lori Ann Wolseley. Chair, 23 are present, 18 are not present, and 3 are excused.
Good. Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. It's not listed here, but I believe, Mia, was a copy of the minutes from the last meeting sent out to the board?
Yes. A complete package was sent to the membership on all, for all voting items.
Okay, so I'd ask, at this point, we do want to approve the minutes from the last general board meeting. I would ask all those committee members, I would ask all board members, if you have any changes to the minutes, please let the board know so we can make those, the secretary can make the corrections. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Okay, seeing none from the board, the minutes will stand as written. If there are any questions, we can address them to the secretary and they can be visited at the next business meeting. All right, we are going to go on to committee reports at this time. Are there any reports from committees, any events that are coming up that you need to share with the board right now? Okay, seeing none.
I'd like to make a report if possible.
Go ahead.
I'll be very brief. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. So this past meeting, in addition to the liquor applications, the two renewals, we had a discussion about gang violence in Crown Heights. There was one store owner that presented before the committee that in the last year witnessed or was near a store, there were 11 shootings. The most recent shooting, he responded immediately after he heard the gunshots. He came and he held a young man in his hands right before he passed away as a victim of the gang violence. We heard from Mike Beretta as well, NYP's perspective on gang violence in Crown Heights, and we're reaching out to different stakeholders in the city and states. I think something very beautiful that happened during this meeting is that one of the applicants, when he heard the testimony of another store owner about gang violence, he said, I also witnessed violence. I'd like to be involved in getting together with the community and working as a unit to prevent future violence. And both those store owners connected, and they're going to get together and try to work together to prevent violence. I just want to, if anybody on the board wants to be involved in these efforts or has any ideas, please reach out to Mia. We're looking to create a coalition to see if we could work together as a community and to save lives, because too many lives were lost this year to gang violence. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rabbi Berman. Are there any other committee chairs that wish to give a brief report?
Yes, I'd like to say something.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm Pat Mose. I'm the chair of the ULUP committee. I just wanted to say our last meeting was held on November the 10th, and the minutes are available if you so choose to read them. So our next meeting will be held on December the 8th. That's on a Tuesday at 7 p.m. So all those that wish to participate, and as community people also, you are more than welcome. Just want to let you know that we are still waiting for information from community board planning. We haven't received a lot of information that we requested. However, we are still also waiting for the certification process for 960 project. Once they are certified, we will have 60 days to schedule a public hearing. I heard of botanical gardens, but I'm not quite sure exactly what their standards are and how they're going to feel about it, because we did have someone at the last meeting and I really couldn't, I couldn't tell whether they were against it or whatever. So I would like those people, if the president himself could come out to our meeting on December 8th so we could hear what they have to say. Let me just say something. We, as a chair, right now, I don't have a position one way or the other. And the reason is because I like to hear two sides. I don't just listen to the pros. I listen to pros who are for it, and I listen to the people that are not for it. So I would like the people that are for it to come out, and I also want the people that are against it to come out and also express how they feel. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
May Chair, I'd like to give a report on the District Manager Search Committee.
Go ahead. The floor is yours.
So we have been, first, I just want to thank all of the members of the District Manager Search Committee who have been putting in so much time. Amy Pinkerton, Michelle DeRosier, Matthias Limberger, Miss Evering, and just all the members that they've been doing fantastic work. So we have initially we reviewed over 140 resumes. We narrowed it down to 12 top candidates. We have finished 8 of those interviews. We will be finishing the last of the interviews next Monday, and we'll be meeting shortly after to vote to advance our final set of candidates. I'm very excited about the candidates that have interviewed so far and believe that we have multiple very qualified candidates for the board to choose. And so once we finish our interviews and vote to advance the final nominees or candidates to the community board, we want to hold a full community board meeting, special meeting dedicated just to meeting the candidates. We will be forwarding copies of their resumes with their personal information redacted to the full community board members, and they'll have an opportunity to be able to ask questions of the candidates and have a full session dedicated just to hearing from the candidates so that the community board can understand who's applying for this position and who they will be voting for at the next community board meeting. And they'll also be able to see their qualifications, cover letters, and all of those things. And so I've strived to be as transparent as possible throughout this entire district manager search committee. It's taken a little bit longer because of the pandemic than I would have liked, but we are on track to have a district manager hired before the end of the year. And so I, again, want to thank my fellow committee members for all of the work that they've put in. We've had so many meetings this past few months to get this work done. And so, if we can fit it in to get the special meeting this time in December, and then hopefully vote on the final set at the December board meeting.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Are there any other chairs with reports that they wish to give? Okay, seeing none, I want to thank all the chairs and all the community residents and board members for all the hard work you're doing on your committees. I commend everything you're doing. I'm just asking for more in terms of making sure that we're doing the work of the community, making sure the resources are being provided, making sure we're doing the advocacy that we need to do. With that, we're going to move on to my chairman's report. My chairman's report is going to be very brief. And I believe that many of the items that I'm probably going to touch on have been referred to by some of the committee chairs. So with regards to the ULURP, as was stated by the ULURP chair, so there was a projected certification date that was supposed to have happened on the 16th of the month. Obviously, that has passed.
Nina, why don't you unmute yourself and announce yourself?
Thank you. Yes, so with regards to the ULURP application, the certification date has gone and passed. So we have been reaching out, the district office team has been reaching out to the Department of City Planning to find out what the status is with regards to that application. This seems to be something that is not going to happen in the immediate term. This is probably going to be something that happens later, probably next month, going into the next, maybe early next year. We don't have a definitive time in which that's going to happen. Otherwise, we are still continuing with our efforts to make sure we're information gathering. So we did, for the direction of the ULURP committee, I did draft a letter which went off to the Department of City Planning. They are currently in the process of identifying the documents that are responsive to our requests and trying to compile those to get those over to us. So we're hoping that we're going to get at least an initial response to some of the documents that we requested, hopefully in the upcoming weeks. We're going to continue to follow up with that to make sure that we get those answers. And in due turn, when those answers are available, we are going to make sure that they are available both for the ULURP committee and for the committee at large for those who request. Again, I want to commend the work of our DM search committee. This is something that has taken longer than we would have wanted, but at the same time, I'm very happy with the process that the DM search committee has done, and to the point that somebody has made in the chat, not an easy task at all. And throw in the pandemic, and that made it even more complicated. But I think when we started this journey in terms of this, we sat down as a board, as an executive committee, we sat down as a board and decided the process that we wanted to have. And I'm very pleased with the execution of that. It's been a transparent process, but it's also been a process that's been respectful in terms of privacy issues, in terms of making sure that we're clear about what our expectations are, and in terms about input. So we're looking forward to that. So after the DM search committee has come down to their final candidates, we're going to have a conversation for that next step in which we are going to make sure that the board is able to convene. We are probably going to do this as a special meeting, so that way we can fully devote our time and energy to making sure we get the right person in the district manager spot. It's the least we can do for our community. They deserve a district manager as soon as we can possibly. One of the other things that I wanted to state as well is one of the promises I had made to our community board was that I did want to actually start doing community board trainings. I think that for us to operate effectively and efficiently as a board, one of the things we wanted to do is make sure that you have the tools and the knowledge you need to make sure that you know how to do your job and you know what to look for in terms of how we can improve this board. So a couple of weeks ago, I believe it was on the 16th, I can't recall the date. I believe it was the 16th, but we actually had a community board session where we did a district bylaws review. We also had a community board's operation review. We were scheduled to have a ULURP training. Unfortunately, we had to postpone that, but that is something that is going to be done in the fairly near future as well, given especially that we're going into the ULURP process. And with that said, we are definitely going to be looking for more opportunities to cover even more topics to make sure that board members have opportunities to learn about how we function, to hopefully give you the background necessary to, if we need to make changes, to improve the way we operate as well. Lastly, I just really want to take an opportunity, since this is the Thanksgiving season, I'm very thankful to be on this board. I want to thank our district office team for all the hard work you do. I want to thank this community board. You know, this is not done for the money. This is not done for the fame or the fortune. You are volunteers doing this. And I thank you for the time and the commitment that you put in towards this. I want to thank all of our community board, community residents who also take their time to come and share their information and their perspectives as well. This is a community board, which means that we look for all that information, we look for those perspectives to hopefully be able to move forward together. I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, a safe Thanksgiving. Please remember, we are still in the midst of a pandemic. We have seen our numbers rise with regards to COVID. So I'm asking everyone to act safely and responsibly. And remember, it's not just about you, it's about everyone else as well in the community. And I thank everyone once again and all our guests. And that concludes my chairman's report. And we are now going to move on to item D, voting items. We now have on the table 2 liquor license applications. We have Mama Luisa Hero Shop. We also have, I think it's Ish Restaurant, I hope I'm not mispronouncing it badly. We have those 2 applications. I'm sorry? Esther Hadassah?
Yes.
Yes. Sorry about that. Thank you. Esther Hadassah as well. The Chair of Public Safety, are you currently on the line?
I am. We voted to support both these applications. And a quorum was present.
Okay. I see one is for a renewal and one is for a change of class. I will entertain a motion to adopt the recommendation of the committee for Mama Luisa Hero Shop?
So moved, Tessa Hackett Vera,
Second.
public safety member and board member, Community 9 board member.
I have a motion by Tessa Hackett Vieira. Do I see a
Second.
second?
Second.
I see a second by Rosemary Evering. Is that you?
Yes.
By Board Member Rosemary Evering. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, I would ask the secretary to please call the roll.
Hold on just one second. I want to make sure I'm not calling people who are not here. Okay, item number 1. Can we please take what the motion on the table is again?
The motion on the table is to adopt the recommendation of the committee to approve the application.
Okay. Meaning Nicholas Almanor,
Yes, I approve.
Stuart Ballberg,
Yes.
Fred Baptiste,
Yes.
Virginia Bechtold,
Yes.
Rabbi Yaakov Berman,
Yes.
Warren Burke,
Yes.
Augustine Blackwell,
Yes.
Alejandra Carballo, yes. He is absent. Michelle DeRosier Caldwell,
Yes.
Miss Rosemary Evering,
Yes.
Tessa Hackett Vieira,
Yes.
Bishop Silvetta Hamilton Gonzalez,
Yes. Yes.
okay, thank you. Wayne King,
Yes.
sorry. Mina Lagute,
Yes.
Nolan Levinson,
Yes.
Melanie Lewis, sorry, actually they're absent, I apologize. Michael Liebert,
Yes.
Matthias Limburger,
Yes.
Carmen Martinez,
Yes.
Pat Moses,
Yes.
Beverly Newsom,
No.
Riel Peerbooms,
Yes.
Amy Pinkerton,
Yes.
Unella Rum Perry,
Yes.
Rabbi Sperlin, Rabbi Sperlin,
Yes.
Debbie Timothy,
Yes. Yes.
thank you, Lorraine Wolseley, Lorraine Wolseley. Okay. Chair, 24 votes in favor, 1 vote against. Would have to count the absences, but they're the same.
Okay, not a problem, as long as the votes cast, as long as you have that. 24 in favor. The motion carries. Thank you very much. We will now look at item B. I will entertain a motion to approve the recommendation of the committee, without the recommendation of the committee, and approve the application.
So made.
I have it moved by Warren Burke. Do I have a second?
Seconded by Nolan Levinson.
I have a second by Nolan Levinson. Thank you. All right, is there any discussion?
Fred, do you think we could just do an aye and nay?
Only because we've already had the vote, the numbers changed, even from when we actually did our, even when we did our roll call, that's the reason why we're calling the votes.
Okay.
All right, Madam Secretary, one more time.
Nicholas Almanor.
Above, yes.
Stuart Ballberg.
Yes.
Fred Baptiste.
Yes.
Virginia Bechtold.
Yes.
Rabbi Yaakov Berman.
Yes.
Warren Burke.
Yes.
Augustine Blackwell.
Yes.
Alejandra Caraballo. Yes. Michelle DeRosier Caldwell.
Yes.
Miss Rosemary Evering.
Yes.
Tessa Hackett Vieira.
Yes.
Bishop Sylvetta Hamilton Gonzalez.
Yes.
Wayne King.
Yes.
Maina Lagute.
Yes.
Nolan Levinson.
Yes.
Michael Liburd.
Yes.
Matthias Limburger.
Yes.
Carmen Martinez.
Yes.
Pat Moses.
Yes.
Beverly Newsom.
No.
Riel Peerbooms.
Sorry, yes.
Amy Pinkerton.
Yes.
Unella Rome Perry.
Yes.
Rabbi Sperlin.
Yes. Yes.
Debbie Timothy.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Okay, Chair, 24 in favor, 1 against, same vote.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so moving on in the agenda, unfinished business. Are there any items that we need to bring back from the table?
Chair, when is the new website going to be up?
That
I
is
think I
actually
can
still
answer
in,
that, Beverly. We should have a launch date before Christmas. Stephanie at Do It, along with the developer at Do It, has culminated with the final submissions that we've made for recommendations for the pages. So it'll be done before Christmas.
That includes all the committee tabs and everything?
It's a completely new website that Do It built for us.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Chairman Baptiste,
yes.
it's Tessa Hackett Vera. How much longer do you anticipate before operations might resume at the board office?
I think the commitment has always been, we want to make sure that we'll open back up when it's safe, especially given the numbers currently in terms of infection rate in New York City. I think that we're not looking at opening up at least before the new year. So obviously this is something we're keeping an eye on. We're having conversations with the city, as well as keeping an eye on what state mandates are coming out. So this is something that, we'll definitely make the announcement when it's ready. But, safety of the board members and the community is primary. So, when it's safe, we'll absolutely do it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, is there any new business for the board? Seeing none. Before we adjourn, actually, and I did want to, and I saw her come in before, is the Assembly member-elect, Farah Souffrant, are you still with us? Ms. Souffrant, are you still with us? All right, I'm not sure if she's still here.
I believe she's still
okay.
in the room. She's still in the
She's still in
room.
the room?
Ask her to unmute herself.
Yeah, she could unmute herself. You should have a couple of minutes to just address the board very quick. Mr. Front, are you there? Okay.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm sorry. Just give her she's trying to, just give her like a second.
Okay, sorry about that. Yes, hello.
Oh, yes.
Hi.
How you doing? Congratulations and welcome to CB9.
Thank you.
Okay, we're at the end of our agenda, but if you would like a couple of minutes to address the board and introduce yourself, absolutely, you have the floor.
Oh, my address is quite simple. Thank you, everyone. My name is Farah Souffrant Forrest. So, of course, Assembly member-elect for District 57. It brings me great joy to be able to be with everyone here tonight. And as always, I am always on the side of the constituents. So, again, I will extend my email in the chat box. If you would like to reach out to me regarding issues that cover CB9 or any other issue that you want to bring up to me, it's fine. I know CB9 also covers Diana Richardson, so I'm looking forward to working with her to make sure our community's needs are met. So I'm excited again. Respectfully yours. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Okay, so with that, we have reached the end of our agenda. I want to wish everyone a happy holidays again. Please stay safe. And I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Before we adjourn, Mr. Speaker, we'd like to extend to you and your family all the best for Thanksgiving.
Oh, yes. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, including you, Mr. Baptiste.
Thank you.
Happy holidays to everyone and stay safe.
Yes, same here.
That right there.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
Well, hold on,
Thank
we didn't,
you.
I didn't get the motion to adjourn yet.
So made.
So moved.
So moved. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Happy
holiday, everyone.
Aye.
All those
Aye.
opposed?
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
We are adjourned 8:48 PM.
Okay, thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.